Alright guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to talk about some of the biggest projects in the space and what is happening to the current floor prices. Bored Ape Yacht Club is down, Captains are even down, Doodles are down, Moonbirds are down, Azuki is up, at least at the time of this video, with their event happening this weekend. I don't know when this video is going to go live, but that is happening this weekend in Vegas. Cryptocurrency seems to be taking the front of the stage. Bitcoin and ETH have pumped 70%, at least at the time of the recording of this video. NFT volume is down. Some degen projects are doing decent. Some meme coins are doing decent. You know, you have to be really in the weeds to catch those and find those, which is why you want to join Discords like mine. That gives you access to tools and algorithms and crypto trading bots and all the best whitelists and a network of people who buy, sell, and trade and live in crypto. Those are the type of Discords you want to join. Check out mine in the description below for a discount code. So let's do this. Let's just go through these 4 to 5 collections and just talk about the price action. And I'll just give you guys my thoughts. As we can see here on the screen at Pro OpenSea, which I would suggest everybody use, not only is it super easy to use, but it also shows you the actual floor. OpenSea itself shows you kind of an inflated floor because there's less listings, less people using it, etc. But Pro OpenSea is going to show you people listing on Pro OpenSea and also Blur. The current floor for Captains is around 8 ETH, and I think they peaked at around 9.99 or something on OpenSea. So it basically hit that 10 ETH mark and then since has retraced. And as we can see, I think in general, a lot of people are just starting to understand with NFTs, if volume dries up, then the floor price is absolutely going to come down pretty aggressively, because the moment volume dries up, people who are farming Blur points or looking to flip, or maybe don't have crazy diamond hands, or maybe bought a little bit higher than they want, or maybe are a little bit underwater and they just want to take a small loss, whatever it is, the moment volume drives up, people start to list on the floor. And you can very much see that with current listed at around 2%, when current listed on this website, I believe only a couple weeks ago was around 1%. So, you know, a handful more people have listed, and it only takes a handful of people who no longer want to hold that NFT when volume has dried up for the floor price to drop fairly rapidly. So this is not a surprise to anybody, but I hold quite a few of these Captains here on the screen, and there's a lot coming for this collection. I mean, whether or not the price goes up or down at this point, I am not going to be selling. Meme coin is coming, reveals coming, all the different products they have currently building and trying to ship are coming. So that whole ecosystem is yet to be born, and I kind of see it as like a potential Bored Ape Yacht Club play, to where you bought an ape at 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 ETH, 15 ETH, 20 ETH, and then you got the mutant airdrop, and then you got the ape airdrop, and then you got, you know, all these other airdrops, and then whatever. And then at that point, you can kind of evaluate your current bags and your current exposure and start to take profits then. But I want to be early on a collection that is currently building an ecosystem and take advantage of those coins and those airdrops and all the products and updates that they have coming down the pipeline. The short-term price of the Captain's floor, I'm not super concerned about. If it went super low, then obviously I would be like, ah, dang, that sucks, I'm down. But I do believe in the team, and I obviously have conviction because I have quite a few of these and quite a bit of money invested, and we will absolutely see what happens. So speaking of the Bored Ape ecosystem, we're going to talk about Mutant Ape Yacht Club right now. Bored Apes and Mutant Apes have taken a large hit over the past, let's just say, few months now. And I think this is for quite a few reasons. One, when an NFT collection drops a coin, they almost become tied together in terms of price. So if the coin comes down in price, then the potential Genesis collections and collections that come after that could also drop in price, especially if you think about how Bored Apes and Mutant Apes passively yield ApeCoin. You could absolutely see why there would be a connection there, and you could absolutely see why ApeCoin is down 50%. You could see why Mutants and Bored Apes are now following suit. So I hold a couple Mutants and I have a decent bit of ApeCoin, and you know, if ApeCoin goes below $2 and, you know, below $1 or in the dollar range or whatever it is, I'm definitely going to be dollar cost averaging into that coin specifically, because not only has the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem pioneered a ton of things for the NFT space in general, but over the past few months, they have had some insane hires, like super experienced people in the gaming ecosystems who have run huge companies in, you know, C-level executive roles, and all of that is pointing towards a potential video games, or video games plural, that potentially actually has staying power and that are fun and that people want to play. And so if the games work and people want the skins in those games and people want the shops and the power-ups and the bonuses and, you know, whatever else they decide to incorporate into those video games, and ApeCoin itself powers that entire ecosystem, then ApeCoin therefore is going to be valuable, at least in my eyes. So we start to see super dumpster prices for ApeCoin, then I will start to dollar cost average a bit into that. I currently have Mutant staking and generating a bit of that as well, but it is very little in the grand scheme of things. But regardless, there's been a lot of talk and FUD around the Bored Ape Yacht Club ecosystem, and I think in general it's just like what we talked about with Meme Land, where, you know, a lot of the airdrops and kind of that free money has dried up. It's gone. Like the Bored Apes came, and then the Mutants came, and the ApeCoin came, and then the 3 other airdrops came, and then Dookie Dash and the mechs and whatever else. You know, if you got in early, you got access to all that. But if you buy in now, what are you potentially getting access to? The game, maybe some ApeCoin. It's just a lot less overall, and I think there's just less incentive to spend 10, you know, 8 to 10, whatever 7 ETH is at the moment, to get into this ecosystem, when at least for now with the free money stuff has kind of played its course. At least a bit of those airdrops and whatever else they have planned is currently wrapped up, and the game that they're making is going to take a long time. Other Side, I believe, is an open world MMORPG. Those not only take a long time, but, you know, we've seen plenty of MMORPGs that claim to be World of Warcraft killers that just completely fail. So there's no guarantee that their video game is going to do well either. And so, you know, this is where it's a gamble. This is where it's speculation. This is where it's conviction. So I think that's why you start to see these prices drop. And you can even see this guy right here selling for a 50% loss. And, you know, this guy's selling for 0.7. This guy's selling for over an ETH loss. You know, this guy's selling for 0.5 loss. I think it's just one of those things. Like, ApeCoin's down. There hasn't been a ton of updates because the games take a long time to make. They have a video game coming out, I believe in July, that looks pretty cool. That's probably going to use ApeCoin, and maybe we'll see some buy pressure for ApeCoin there. They did the same with Dookie Dash, to where you had to buy ApeCoin to get upgrades for your flying spaceship guy or whatever. You know, they're still doing things. There's still a ton of money there. They have a ton of money that they raised, and I'm sure they got a crazy VC valuation too. So it's not like they're running out of money anytime soon, but making games takes a long time. The free money airdrop era for Bored Ape Yacht Club, at least for now, seems to be over. And so if you combine all of those factors together with ApeCoin also decreasing in price because of all the sell pressure, I can absolutely see why Bored Apes and Mutant Apes have dropped in floor price the way they have. All right, so now we're going to talk about Doodles and Moonbirds. And I think both these collections kind of fall into that same collection of not much has happened for either project when it comes to free airdrops and free money and staking, like what the speculators and degens want. And I think both of them kind of have that same sort of issue where the community isn't super happy with the potential direction that both teams want to take this. And I'm not super up to date with Doodle, so don't FUD in my comments. I'm not super up to date with what they're doing, and I'm sure there's a lot of really cool things that the community's doing. Same with Moonbirds. But I think the price action, it shows that decent portion of the community is not super happy with the direction the teams are taking with these two collections. And, you know, we'll see what happens. I mean, I know Doodles is trying to not be an NFT project, and they want to be a brand IP, and they want to be global, and they want to do all that stuff. And I think that's super cool. And I think to pierce that veil, it takes a lot of work. And I think the only collection that seems to have done that to any sort of degree is Bored Apes, where they kind of went mainstream for a little while, and also Pudgy Penguins, to where, you know, they're selling toys on Amazon and to people who have never heard of an NFT, probably have never invested in a cryptocurrency. And then they have, you know, these cool like metaverse things attached to these toys, and it kind of onboards people that way. But those are really the only collections that I've seen really kind of pierce that veil. When it comes to Moonbirds, I know there's been some cancellations and some FUD around the founders. And so, you know, I'm just going to be watching these two collections. I think there isn't necessarily a super compelling reason for me personally to buy into either of these collections, but I also think if they go low enough to where it does become attractive, that I could definitely see myself buying a Moonbird or a Doodle and just, you know, kind of betting that, hey, we probably can't go too much lower. And so, you know, that kind of is a good transition into talking about like, hey, is the NFT bottom in? Are we close to a potential bottom? Is there more pain ahead in the USD pairing, in the ETH pairing, or whatever it is? You know, I think that's a good discussion. I don't think I have the best answer, but I do think we will see a bottom eventually. And then all of the people who bought the bottom, or all the people who funded the bottom, or all the people who, you know, suggest that we might have a bottom will come out and celebrate. And then all the people who missed the bottom are going to FOMO in, and then we'll probably have another NFT bull cycle, bull run at some point. I do believe that. I do think NFTs are going to have another euphoria phase. It kind of seems like NFTs and crypto, they're so speculative, and there's so much like money and gamble element to it that there's a lot of reason to potentially buy into certain projects just to to gamble and try to make some money. And if the narrative shifts and, you know, there's any sort of catalyst and, you know, the money printer gets turned back on and cryptocurrency is going crazy and then goes sideways, there could potentially be another moment in time where certain NFT projects, maybe not these, but certain NFT projects could absolutely rip in price again. And then all of a sudden we're in another FOMO bubble. You know, and then the last thing I want to talk about is Azuki is now sitting at 16.5 ETH floor price. And I believe the highest they got was 17.5 over this last run. They have an event in Vegas this weekend, depending on when this video goes live, to where I think quite a few people are questioning whether they're going to have some sort of crazy announcement or something. So, you know, that'll be interesting to see and see what happens. But I think Azuki is just another example of a collection that has so far succeeded in keeping their whales happy, their holders happy, the community happy in general, and the floor price is reflecting that. So is the NFT bottom in? I don't know. Are these collections great buys right now? I don't know. Is my conviction still high as ever for certain coins and collections? Yes. Am I going to keep dollar cost averaging? Yes. Will I buy certain collections if they go super, super, super low? Yes. Am I panic selling anything right now? No. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, share it with somebody, and I'll see you guys in the very next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.